one of these oddly satisfying things before. I made some noises that could have got you demonetized. There's no way I'm not going to be able to squeeze this if you put it in front of me. I have to squeeze it. Come on. Oh, that is good. That is really good. Here we go. Oh, it's clean though. A thing of beauty, guys. No, no. There. Didn't do it. I always want to quarter my fruit. I did a video about it on my side channel thinking it'd get no views, and I checked a year later and it had 3 million views from sand people that just want to watch sand all day. So I didn't know where that came from. I've got a new sand audience somewhere out there.
We're doing some like archaeology now. That is exciting. What horrors are we about to uncover? Oh, what an icon. I was kind of making fun of this guy, and I'm like, he's having fun, man. He turns on that camera, he's living his truth. It's a dream house, I lived in a cave, but I never saw the way they were slaving. I know the whole word. I could keep going. It's really upsetting.
State the Llama song was uploaded first in 2004 to art site DeviantArt, where reportedly it racked up over 50,000 views before spreading to Newgrounds and Albino Black Sheep.
50,000 views back in the day was like, you are the most famous person that's ever existed.
It's Peanut Butter Jelly Time, performed by the Buckwheat Boys.
Performed by, okay.
Hey guys, I'm back with a whiteboard and 0 drawing skills, and 6 years after the first draw of my life, I'm still alive. And you may think you know this story, but I'm gonna hit you with all the behind the scenes juice. That sounded gross, sorry. Moved to London with Dan, very exciting, but also 5 times more expensive than Manchester. Thankfully, we just landed a show on BBC Radio 1, which was such a huge deal. Not only were we the first people from the internet to get a show with the BBC, but our show was super ambitious, incredibly fun, but also very anxiety-inducing. I made the decision that this was my life now. I was a full-time internet entertainer, and not having much money at the time, I thought this was my opportunity to say yes to everything. Literally, whenever something came into the inbox, I was like, yep. My anxiety around this time got really bad as I was juggling too much. I was working so hard, I wasn't getting any sleep, and I was worrying about not getting anything done the next day. That's me juggling responsibilities. I had a phone call that I needed to come home as there was news about my dad's health. I was asking what it was, but they just told me to come home and talk about it. I knew it would be cancer before they even told me, really. It turned out that my dad had a very rare form of blood cancer. Obviously, I wanted to drop everything and move back home, but he said it would be better if I continued doing these amazing things in London, and that would be more of a boost than if I was just moping around the house. So factoring in a lot of visits, I stayed in London, and thankfully he started to get better. He was given an experimental drug, and it's really working as he's still in remission 5 years later. And really, some of these people that we work for were getting more from us than we were from them. After some experiences of doing some things out of obligation rather than passion, and not being able to fully create things how we wanted to, we knew it was time for a change. So we decided to make a Dan and Phil book. And not just a regular book. Of course, we had to do something special and unique, but a creative explosion of stories and photos and drawings and games that we felt perfectly represented us. And this felt like the perfect moment to go on tour and see the viewers that had supported us in real life. There were many theatres that wouldn't let us hire them as they didn't know what a YouTuber was, and they just thought no one would turn up. Which was frustrating, as them not getting it meant there were places that we couldn't go, and as the first YouTubers to do a tour this big, we basically had to break the ice ourselves to let everyone come through. So thankfully, someone did buy a ticket. In fact, 100,000 people did, and the book was a #1 bestseller. We couldn't believe it. We were so happy and relieved, and the fact that we were doing it our own way and it was all a celebration of this world of Dan and Phil on YouTube made it extra special. I had to do some press to promote the book and the tour, which was my first proper experience with that world, and it was a back sweat inducing experience. As not only was I an awkward nerd, but I was still publicly and to my extended family in the closet, and I felt like a few of the reporters just wanted to talk about dating and sexuality, and half of the questions were about liking girls or hot female celebrities. They were also still obsessed with the fact that a YouTuber was even a job and all they cared about was money. We wanted to talk about how amazing the story of our journey is and how exciting our show was with its and made a gaming channel. I think our Sims series was the biggest hit. We created Dill Halter, and living out his disastrous but weirdly relatable life was some of the most fun I've had on YouTube. Like deciding to do a video every day leading up to Christmas one year had us awake until 4 AM most nights of December, including Christmas Eve. I like to think that Undertale Let's Play was worth it. Sorry, and thanks for that, Dan. This tatting off era of life lasted for basically 2 years, and when we finally returned from the war, our lives felt totally different. We had certain priorities at this point, like moving out of our first London apartment that had an actual gas leak. 2017 was very sad and death heavy in my family. We lost my grandma and my auntie in the same month. I didn't really talk about it online at the time, as I wanted my online presence to be something you guys can come to forget your worries rather than taking on mine. And while this was all going on, it made it harder, as on the outside it just looked like I wasn't planning anything new, when in fact I was trying to work on stuff at the same time. When you're working on something, you don't want to be annoying and be like, secret project coming in 3 months. It's better to wait until you have something interesting to share, or just Beyonce it. The problem is, when you suddenly announce it, some people will think it was just an easy breezy task that just magically appeared. It is never a breezy task. This one time we spent ages planning a Dan and Phil travel series that we spent months working on. We had a whole crew assembled, we pitched it to people, and it was ready to go when the people that commissioned it said their plans had changed and we'd have to wait a year to film it, which totally clashed with all our other plans, and we just had to let it go. Because 2 of those secret projects did make it into the world. Most amusingly, truth bombs, which came from a party game I'd made my friends play on pieces of paper when we were hanging out. And around this time, Dan and I, working with my brother Martin, also started our first business, IRL merch. That shook the camera like we were celebrating that we'd made it. Martin knew everything about making websites and online shopping, and as 2 people that love a good fandom and spending all our money on Game of Thrones mugs, Dan and I thought YouTuber merch could be so much better than just a basic t-shirt. This Dan and Phil thing meant so much to so many people, and whilst our first tour was huge, there was loads of people around the world that never got to see us, so we decided before anything else, in one massive quest, we would try and go to as many countries in the world that would actually let us in. Thankfully this time round, everyone knew what a YouTuber was, so we booked shows everywhere from Helsinki to Mumbai. There were still a couple of countries that didn't want to let us in. Interactive Introverts was born. Much more important though, sometime in the middle, I snipped off my emo fringe, as despite everyone loving it and it being in all the photos promoting the show, oops, I decided it was what I wanted, so I went and bloody did it. I even got a pair of ripped jeans. Big character progression. We had some big issues getting into Manila, which cost so much we actually ended up spending our own money in Asia rather than making any, but it was a grand adventure and we achieved what we set out to do, to see as many of you as possible and have a great time, which made it all worth it. Where's all my fun stories about the things in the rest of my life? Well, turns out I don't really have one. Obviously this career has given me so many incredible adventures and experiences I could never have dreamed of, but outside of it I suddenly realised how lame I am. I prioritised work so much. I stopped making friends. I only have about 4 in London that actually want to hang out, and I've got no real hobbies except for exhaustedly plonking myself in front of a video game after writing emails till 5 AM. We've both realised you don't need to say yes to everything. It's up to me how much work I want to do in order to secure my future, but there should be a balance so at the end of the day, you're still happy. So what next? We both wanted to have a think about what was next for us, and Dan began another epic quest of his own to make a 45-minute long video. So we decided to pause the gaming channel, which we knew would upset people who love it as much as we do, but we had to hope they would understand why. The thing is, most people love Dan and Phil games just for being funny and the couch banter, rather than hardcore gaming skills action. So I think if we did feel like having that thing on the side again, maybe it could transform into something new in the future, but on the other hand, I think that final Sims video was definitely a perfect ending if it is. As Dan and Phil, we definitely feel like we've done every genre of big project we could do together over this 5 years, apart from maybe a cookbook, but we all know how much of a disaster that would be. So while we love creating together and we'll continue to pop up together on YouTube for more classic content, maybe for the next secret big project, it's time for Phil to think about the big dreams he's always had. So a thing meeting my audience made me realize is sometimes sharing personal stuff can help others. What I've always dreamed of doing is writing stories and directing films to take what's in my mind and share it with the world on your screen. Maybe even a bigger screen. Now remember the rule of secret projects. Who knows what's going on and if it'll ever be real, but let's just say some writing is happening.
So Phil, in his quest to get a new hobby and therefore a life, has just gone ahead and made a big life decision without consulting me first.
We are adopting a fish.
Yes.
We're gonna rescue it.
We're rescuing a better.
Give it a better home. Better home.
A better oh, baduntis. But as someone who takes design very seriously, I couldn't just, you know, whack some plastic flowers and a pirate ship in this.
I
No,
feel attacked.
I've fully gone off the deep end and 2 days later, I'm teaching myself the fricking nitrogen cycle. I'm watching traditional aquascaping principle videos, gluing wood and rocks together to make ornaments.
If the fish doesn't swim through that hole, I'm gonna sue it.
I'm learning how to plant things underwater. There we go, I guess I'm a crazy aquarium guy now. What's new with you?
Here's a little tour of the aquarium. Head of design Dan, assistant me. So first of all, I'm most proud of this, which we're hoping the fish is going to go through, and the moss ball is hopefully going to grow all the way around it.
That's my favourite part, that tiny cute moss ball I shoved into that crack.
Yeah, it's very Studio Ghibli, so that's going to look great. These I fully fingered down into the soil.
Whow, you did actually.
I did, all the way
that
down.
Was really hard.
It was like
you planted that grass, Phil.
it was like birthing a cow backwards.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Okay.
These are going to be these are going to be mossy as well.
I want to get shrimp.
Yeah, we're going to get shrimp to eat on the moss.
We won't be adopting the shrimp, but I want them.
Apparently, you can get
They like nibbling moss.
Yeah, they love it. This is two things stuck together, which looks amazing because it goes all the way to the top.
You did that.
I did that.
Craft.
I held that glue down, and then this is probably the best bit because this has got loads of places for the fish to hide.
Funky piece of wood.
Yeah.
Being weighed down by a rock until it sinks.
So I hope the fish is happy here.
Foreground grass, background grass.
And it knows.
Like, show the moss log.
Moss log. Oh, the moss log's through there. It's a little hidden feature. But if the fish doesn't appreciate it, I'll be sad.
I appreciate it. This fish doesn't know how good his life is.
So, fish is going to move in when the water is fine. I've got a test kit to make sure it won't die.
Let's hope someone else doesn't take the fish.
And yeah, let's hope no one else adopts it. That is the end of the tank tour. Have a good night.
Tank band. Yes.
So thanks to Rachel, we get to play
do
with
this.
these doggos.
Hello, hello.
This is Lady, having big wags.
Very excited. We're all gonna get the sniff test. And now you.
No, not me. Not this guy.
Oh, I need a shake after Phil. Hello there.
Look at that wag.
Too wag, too furious. Hello. Do you have a forceful wag? Do you have a forceful wag? Slap, 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 slap.
So, Mum was called Whisper, so we have Twirl and Button. So, we'll hold them together so you can see the difference. We have one rather big puppy.
One that is a bit large.
and one rather little.
This is the best.
That was the single cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Oh, it's yawning.
It's the best day ever.
This is the cutest moment of your lives, and
Yeah.
you've peaked now, so I hope you're absorbing all of this
Yeah.
while you can. It's like falling asleep in the dent of your hand.
Alright, whatever. I'm just gonna...
Loaf. Hello.
Yeah.
Look at the tiny soft feet. His pink little toes. Oh dear. Oh, it's falling asleep in my hand if I just stay perfectly still. Hey there, how you doing? Fancy seeing me here. What?
I thought that was...
Mate, that's not me. No, he's totally two-dimensional. That's just a cardboard cutout. When people come along, they can finally do the pose that makes sense with my height, which is this.
Okay, you...
It's all here is the Daniel Howell shop. As you can see, I have a clear aesthetic. Everything's black.
Just like my soul.
Exactly. That is the exact mood that I'm going for right there. Always wear black because it's fashionable, even if it's hot. even in the summer. Just wear black. Just shop.danielhowell.com, and that's where any of you can get it on the internet. I hope you like it. I like it. Thank you.
Best projects.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, y'all, it's a Phil!
It's me.
Oh my gosh!
Next to real me.
Wow!
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
I never know what to do with my hands in a photo, so I just went with thumb out of pocket in that one. Okay, well, I've got a whole range of stuff. I love corgis, so I've got this corgi patch sweater. Corgis are in right now. Shiba Inus are down, corgis are up.
You're such an influence, and I know there's a lot of people that look up to you and look out for you. So what is your advice to those creators and those people that want to, do what you're doing?
I think it's awesome if you're even inspired to create something. So I'd say just make something that you would want to make or something that you would want to see, and don't worry too much about it, because there's all this like, oh, I don't know if I should post this. I don't know if it's good enough.
Right.
But posting it is better than just like keeping it on your hard drive or something like that. So it was just one of the first people to do it, and I was inspired by channels like Smosh. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to give that a go. And imagine if I didn't. I could be a weatherman right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Or an astrologist.
Yeah. I'm seeing good things for all of you in the stars.
Yes.
Especially you. If you're wearing a red jacket.
I'm gonna sell vases.
Vases. Oh. See, we say vases.
Oh, vases.
Vases. That's a thing. I mean, I like a glass of water, so why go back for more when you can drink out of a giant one?
What made you decide to come out now? What made you take the plunge?
Well, that was a thing, because it was a strange one, because I'd already come out to most of my friends and family like quite a while ago, but it was one of those things that having on the internet, I was like, I don't know if I want to share too much of my private life, but then I also thought that my story might be able to help other people, so I thought, you know what, why not just do it and let everyone know I'm gay.
What videos do you have the most fun making?
It's been a whole journey of making videos. I think I did one which was a tour of my brain, which was a lot more artistic than I usually have, it involved me cutting out things out of cardboard and opening mysterious brain flaps, which is not a word I thought I'd say today. So that was quite a crafty one. If you saw Dan's video, he spent months making his video about his sexuality, and that was like a whole process. But I was like, no, I'm going to keep mine low-key, and I'm just going to sit down and have a chat. But still, when I was editing, I was like, should I say that? Is that okay? Is this coming across right? And then, yeah, so it did still take me a while to, first of all, pluck up the courage to film it, and then secondly, post it. I was like, I don't want to press go. What's going to happen? Everything's going to change. The reaction I had from you guys, thank you, and also my peers, and also friends I hadn't talked to for years were just sending me messages saying that it had an impact on them or it helped them. So it was actually a really good feeling, and I was happy that I posted it.
How do you balance YouTube with the rest of your life and all these other projects that you've got going on?
I mean, it's always a bit of a juggling act. Like, there are some YouTubers that are machines, and they will upload twice every day or something like that. But I don't upload as often as the standard algorithm would say. If you upload twice a day, then this is going to get you the most views. But it's just a fact of trying to juggle everything, doing some good scheduling, and also not worrying if something isn't on your channel for a week or 2 weeks, because everyone knows that I am doing other things as well, so I'm not always just sat there not doing anything, Yeah. There's always something going on.
So what are some projects that you're looking forward to working on? Or,
I don't want to be the guy that's like, mystery project, but at the moment I'm working on some bigger things, but it's quite a strange position to be in because I don't fully know what they are yet. But I can say that I've written part of a script for something. I would love to get a dog, but yeah. But a dog is also a huge commitment that you can't take lightly, so I don't want to just get one and then not be able to look after it properly. So I need to be at a place in my life where I'm like, dog time, I have space for you. Maybe I'll see if Tony's still alive when I get back, and then I know I can look after a shrimp. Maybe I could move on to another animal.
Yeah.
Having been on YouTube for so long, there's obviously going to be a time where I'm like, I literally have no idea what to do. And I think anyone in a creative industry is going to have a creative block. And it depends on the person, obviously. But for me, it really helps to talk to someone. I'm having one now. Will you talk to me? No, but it helps. Like, I've got Dan. I can talk to him about, like, what do you think of this idea? Or what do you think I could do with this? Or also, I will, this sounds very off-brand, but I will go out for a walk and just clear my head. Or if something is really blocking your brain and you can't think of it, just stop forcing it and maybe try thinking about something else, or go to sleep and try again the next day, because you can't always force an idea. And then if you've done that, the next day you might be like, oh, there we go, brainwave. I know how to do this.
Is your gaming channel coming back?
Oh yes, the gaming channel. We took a pause from the gaming channel using the word hiatus. The thing is, Dan wanted to obviously take a break because he didn't want to do any YouTube videos for a while because he was planning this video about his sexuality and that was such a big deal for him. So I was like, okay, well, if that's the case, we should pause everything for a bit. But also, I think when you're making something, even if it's really great and people love it, you should always have a pause and think about, what do we want to do with this? Is this going to last forever? How's it going to work? So the truth is, we haven't sat down and had a full chat about what's the gaming channel going to be now. It might come back as gaming, or it might even come back as something else where me and Dan are trying something new.
Have you ever been rejected for, you know, a collab or something that you wanted to do?
Submitted a pitch for this thing I was working on, a different idea last year, and I'd spent weeks working on all of these ideas that could go into this show I wanted to make. And then we just got the email back that was like, sorry, that's not what we're looking for. And so I'm just like, okay, put that in the bin. Let's start.
You know what?
I can never die, I'm Chuck Norris. Fuck the government and fuck Boris, yeah.
It's happening. He's swimming through the hole. Yes, Norman.
Norman, you did it!
Yes.
What a lad. Hey there everybody, I am Dan and this is Then and Now, where I'm forced to confront the past, things that I said, and see if I've changed a person, which is going to be profoundly horrifying for me. Let's go. There I go. Hi, I'm Dan. And just stare unblinkingly until the other person's uncomfortable. Oh, the silence. There I am. God.
Hi. So, my name is Dan.
Be gone! Yeah,
Nice to meet
that's
you,
how I feel
and
about
this
that.
is-
There we go. Shut up. Sweating profusely. You know, the good thing about Europe, we have culture. Old buildings. What does that mean? No air conditioning, suffering, writhing around, sweating, feeling your arms and legs stick to parts of your body you weren't aware that you had. That's what I do in the summer.
Hello, Internet. So, where I am in ye olde England. I don't know what that was. It is unbearably hot at the moment, and because all the buildings in England are old as hell, hardly anybody has air conditioning, so there is no escape from the heat as I lay naked on my bed like a starfish every night.
I think, honestly, I haven't progressed much since then. I had that revelation where I was like, you know, there's a lot of nonsense in this world. There's a lot of people telling us what to do and how to feel, and at the end of the day, because we don't know why anything is, we just have to do what makes us happy. And I was probably more articulate when I said that back in 2012. Let's see.
To me, the meaning of a human life is to be happy. It's to achieve happiness right now. It's to make sure that
What is
you're
that
happy.
tiny chest of drawers I had in the background? Sorry, I know this video is about the meaning of life. I'm just looking at my interior design choices right now.
And if some people on YouTube try to have a message to give people, I guess that mine is, do whatever you have to do to be happy.
Aw, isn't that nice? Yeah, subscribing to get that notification when I upload. Everyone thought it was funny when I said 3 videos a year in my diss track. Well, we all played ourselves, didn't we there?
I had a free day, so I thought I'd start a new TV show. And I ended up watching 3 seasons in 4 days. Whenever I finish a season and find out it'll be a year before the next one, it's like my life has no purpose anymore. Like all your friends have gone to college and you're just left at home like, I'm so alone. Hey Dan, do you want to come out with some people? It's a really nice day outside. So
Very
alone.
dramatic.
Dan. What? Seriously? Seriously?
I said this back in the day, like 2013. Shout out to the Sherlock fandom, there's only 6 episodes. It's not like they got much more. I think Sherlock fans and people that subscribe to my YouTube channel are in a very similar place emotionally. They're like, I like this, I can't wait for the next thing.
So yeah, now I'm hiding in the bathroom because it's the
The bathroom. There's a very posh A from me there.
only place left that I haven't been caught talking to myself.
I was literally walking around this office building filming a video and people were just like, who is this child? My mum is mortified that this video was uploaded because she was the person that got me the internship at this place. And they're like, people saw this video. Back in the day, I thought I'm just gonna walk around this law firm being silly, going around saying serious business, no one's gonna see this. Turns out it now has 2.2 million views. Everyone that worked there saw it and they think he's weird, we're glad we didn't hire him. So just be aware, everything you post on the internet may one day be seen by a future employer. And now you're all sweating, aren't you? Yeah. I think I'm the same person, and that's really funny to see.
You probably think that you are better now, better now. You only say that 'cause I'm not
In this room tonight, everybody is valid, okay? Everybody except from me, obviously. This is my first time going out while being out, really, and just talking about this one thing has made it feel like I've started a completely new life. To this day, I don't understand when people meet me and they're like, wow, you're really awkward. It's like, yeah, no shit, I'm not lying about my personality on YouTube. But let's be real, when I say 10 years of YouTube uploads, it hasn't been a consistent 10 years, has it? Let's be real. Does it count as 10 years if I didn't actually upload a proper video for 15 months? I mean, I logged in every now and then. I think I remember the password, maybe. I was never one for the weekly upload, because my creative process was, you know, a lot of having an existential crisis, banging my head on the carpet for 3 days, writing, and then just dragging around a camera and filming myself in the bathroom or something. Because this year, I did in fact do something in my personal life that no one knows. It was a big commitment. It's something that I put a lot of time and energy into, and it ended up being a very intense journey that was, you know, something for me, being quite a mysterious, secretive person that doesn't like to share, because I'm full of shame and other reasons, I never told the internet. But do you want to know what this thing was? Okay. Earlier this year, I signed up to run the London Marathon that happened in April. I thought that me running a marathon would actually be a great idea for several reasons. Firstly, if I train to run a marathon, then I'll just naturally become really fit and healthy. Also, importantly, the whole point of the London Marathon is that it's an opportunity to raise money and awareness for a charity. And that's a really good thing to do, right? Especially with someone with my platform, because not only does it help make the world a better place, but it would make me look really good, which is also really important, and I'll enjoy that feeling. But I figured it would just be quite a good story, because, you know, me, a young British guy that has publicly struggled with mental health, overcoming all of it in this epic test of physical and mental endurance to say, hey, no depression, anxiety, paranoia, various food addictions, gay trauma, etc. I stomp on you with my chunky running shoes. I told my family, and I told my friends, and they were like, wow, you gon' die. This is terrible. I mean, you go, Dan. Yeah, you got this. This is amazing. I guess the moral of this story is that sometimes your best actually isn't good enough. It isn't. I ended up pulling out from doing the race the night before. Okay? Literal the worst time. Did all of that and then at the last minute fail. It turns out mental health won. Yeah. Whoops. Which, it's not the ending that you wanted to hear, right? But it's what bloody happened, so you have to deal with it, okay? And then at the hardest moment, you know, the most difficult thing, other than digesting all of the potatoes that I ate the night before, was having to tell the family members and friends that I told I was doing this, that I wasn't going to do it. And that's hard, you know? I mean, talking to people generally, but specifically disappointing them, letting down people that really believed in you. And the thing that made this the hardest was probably my mum, because in that night before the race, I was just about to call her and be like, Mum, yeah, I have to tell you, I'm not actually doing that thing. Guess what my mum texted me? This photo. My mum. Team Dan, proud. Isn't that the cutest you've ever seen in your life? I was about to tell her I wasn't doing, so I felt terrible, okay? I was like, oh my God. Suddenly the real tea started to spill itself. My mum said to me, to be honest, I thought it was a bad idea that you signed up. Oh, okay. My friends, yeah, when you told us, we were like, oh, Dan, really? That's never gonna happen. Excuse me? You just spent months cheering me on. What the hell, people? Me saying no at the last minute was a victory in itself, okay? Sometimes in life we feel all this pressure to do things just because we feel like it's the right thing to do, what other people are telling us to do, or what society wants. And, you know, to say, I'm going to be honest with myself, I can't do that. Or just, I actually don't want to do that thing. That's the right decision. So yeah, epic fail. I didn't run a marathon this year, but I learned to be okay with trying something out of my comfort zone and being totally comfortable with accepting defeat.